Today on this special edition of the Bluffton News, we'll meet the two gentlemen looking to fill Weston Newton's shoes for Beaufort County Seat District 9. Welcome to the Bluffton News. I'm Anneliza Itkor, and these are Bluffton's current headlines. As a sheriff and another state lawmaker make their bid for the vacant 1st Congressional District official, it looks to be shaping up to be a crowded and competitive race. State Senator Larry Grooms of Berkeley ended speculation about his ambitions to replace newly minted Senator Tim Scott with an official announcement last Friday, hours before Andy Patrick addressed the Beaufort County Republican Party about his own ambitions, which he intends to etch in stone this week as he finishes putting his organization in place. And Sheriff Ray Nash just returned from 3 years assisting the U.S. Department of State in Afghanistan to announce his candidacy for the seat. Helen Ryan was honored at the Boys and Girls Club of Bluffton's Hope and Opportunity Luncheon for her professional achievements, her active service in the Bluffton community, and her direct support of the club. More than 90 people attended the luncheon that raised more than $7,000 for the club's Smart Girls program. Speakers included last year's honoree, Mayor Lisa Sulka, and President and CEO of the Community Foundation of the Lowcountry, Denise Spencer. A Bluffton man suspected of sexually assaulting a child was arrested late last week on Hilton Head Island, according to the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office. Ruben Nato Banda, 30, was arrested when he turned himself into investigators. Nato Banda was wanted on 1 count of criminal sexual conduct with a minor, a 7-year-old girl, alleged to have occurred January 5th at a Baywood home where he was staying. He has not been arrested before in Beaufort County, and the Sheriff's Office has not received other reports or complaints that Nato Banda had inappropriate contact with other children. There may be a chill in the air, but Beaufort County Animal Shelter still wants you to beat the heat. May is the month when cats and dogs, shall we say, have lovin' on their minds, and in an effort to control the unwanted animal population, the Beaufort County Animal Shelter is offering to fix your pet for free now through the month of April. To get more information, call 843-255-5010 or email shelter@bcgov.net. And here's what's happening around the state. Authorities in Greenville County are investigating the shooting death of a man whose body was found in the parking lot of an apartment complex. The Sheriff's Office reports that a late-night 911 call this past Saturday reported shots being fired at the complex. That call was followed by a second 911 call reporting a man's body could be seen in the parking lot between 2 buildings. Deputies arrived 5 minutes after the first call and found the man's body in the parking lot. Officials in Anderson County are offering a reward for information leading to whoever killed a 1,700-pound steer with 7-foot horns. Bubba, a Watusi steer, watched over the calves at Cherokee Farm in Belton. On Christmas Eve, someone shot the steer and left him to bleed to death. Anderson Area Crime Stoppers is offering a $1,000 reward to find out who killed Bubba. The reward was donated anonymously. 13 years ago, Sam Brooks bought Bubba when he was just a 200-pound calf. Last week, more than 24 calves were stolen from the Upstate Livestock Exchange's auction house and cattle barn in Williamston. Just days after Russell and Crystal Ewing rescued 68-pound Tank from the York County Animal Shelter, Tank returned the favor and rescued them right back. Tank woke up the Ewings in time for Russell to find a fire raging in the laundry room of their Indian Trail, North Carolina home. The couple escaped without being hurt. The fire was ruled accidental and was confined to the laundry room, which has the furnace, water heater, and washer-dryer in it. The Ewings have insurance, but more importantly, now they have a future, thanks to Tank the dog. For more information on these headlines and more, please check out the media sources you see listed on your screen. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Coming up, BJ Frazier of the Bluffton Sun brings us the buzz in Bluffton with hot off the presses.
The smoked chipotle burrito is really good.
Yeah, my zesty cheesesteak burrito's great.
Are you familiar, Pete, with the phrase, don't mess with success? Yeah. Because this is not only messing with success, this is taking success to the cliff and shoving success over.
Success said, oh, please don't do anything, leave me alone.
These burritos didn't even hear that. They heard, oh, put, and that was it. It was just like, wow. Egg everywhere.
Wake up to sirloin steak and fluffy eggs with the new zesty cheesesteak and smoked chipotle breakfast burritos. This is how you Sonic.
Welcome back to the Bluffton News. Joining me now is BJ Frazier of the Bluffton Sun. So, BJ, we're heading into that time of year when everyone has their mind on taxes. Where do things stand with the property tax for 2013 in Bluffton?
Well, there are two issues that will possibly radically impact property taxes this year. One is, of course, a reassessment, which means that the town says that they come out with a solid estimate of what your property is worth, and therefore your taxes are based on that. Now, the tax rate can go up and down, but basically, if your property is worth less, you might end up paying some less taxes. But with all that's been going on in the real estate environment over the last 5 years, a lot of undeveloped property and condominiums and so forth and coastal property may be worth a lot more, and therefore your taxes will increase dramatically. Now, the county council is taking a look at this, and some are saying, wait a minute, before this happens, let's be smart and do some preventative price and expenditure containment, and that's what they're trying to do. The second thing that's going to impact taxes is both Palmetto Bluff and Colleton River Plantation. That's about 500 households. They've been re-rated as far as fire safety goes because the two fire stations they have are unmanned. And the rating now may cost some of those homeowners $10,000 more a year in insurance premiums. And so what the town is considering doing is manning those fire stations 24/7, and that may cost $1.3 million for the taxpayers each and every year, which is going to be shared by everyone. So the question is, do 500 households, should they pay more on their insurance, or should the whole town share the burden? So it's going to be an interesting debate.
Hopefully they can go back. Indeed. Now, speaking of property, tell us about the recent groundbreaking in Bluffton.
Oh, amazing. Tenet Healthcare, the parent company of Hilton Head Regional Medical Center, has just broken ground for a 60,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility that's called a hospital without beds, which means obviously it's ambulatory. But that's fabulous to have that kind of a facility here in Bluffton. Obviously, they have the approvals that have taken quite a while to show the need for it, and it's going to be a very successful facility that will open later on this year. And it's going to do breast health, diagnostics, therapies, doctor's office, so it's a win for Bluffton.
Well, I think that is definitely going to be very beneficial. And speaking of being beneficial, what is new in the world of volunteering?
Well, Susan Harper, that's a Sun City resident, has been down here for a few years, and she recognized something, that there are a tremendous amount of volunteers in the area that sign up to do something for, say, the cancer organization. And what happens is the volunteers aren't given a clear definition of what to do, or they're given menial tasks, or they're given something that doesn't really work out, so they become discouraged. What she's done is come up with a plan called Encore Professionals, where she is the middle person between people that want to volunteer and the organizations, and she puts together short-term projects that get done well, so everybody's happy. The frustration level's gone, and it's a great thing for the organizations.
I would think that it would be fantastic when, hey, let's say you need an attorney, she can hook you up with an attorney that will volunteer their services. I think that is just a fantastic idea. Now, where can we learn more about this?
It's going to be in this week's issue of the Bluffton Sun, so read and enjoy.
Great. Thanks so much, BJ.
Thank you.
In a business climate that often demands ingenuity and entrepreneurial spirit, home businesses have increased in popularity. Shellie West-Hodges joins us now to talk about this development. Welcome, Shellie.
Thank you, Anneliza.
So, Bluffton has a lot of home-based businesses. What are some of those businesses?
Yeah, that's one of the very unique things about our community here is that we do have a lot of home-based business folks that work out of their home. And a lot of people probably are not aware of who's out there, but we have different groups. You have different people like Penny Scott that does Tupperware, and Margie that does Zapata, silver jewelry, and Mary Kay, that's Laura Lewis, and many other ladies out there that do that kind of work. They all kind of band together and have events and promote their businesses by hosting different events at restaurants. You also have different insurance people, like American Way, or as well as home inspection type people like Dave Hine, who does Be Assured and home inspections. So there's a lot of folks out there that are working and networking and really need to get their face out there.
Now, because these are businesses that are a little untraditional, I mean, they don't have a storefront, they may or may not have a website, what are some of the issues that concern home-based businesses?
Well, one of the things too that I think a lot of folks don't realize when they come into the area, especially if they're new here to the area, is that our area is divided by town of Bluffton as well as Beaufort County. And even though they work out of their homes, they should register for a business license with either the county or the town. And if they're conducting business in other areas like Beaufort or even Hilton Head, they will also need a town license or a county license for there. And also by registering, and it's a very nominal fee for the license, that also gets them, on the map. So people, that research what businesses are here in the area, it does list them. So I want to make sure that folks know that they do really need to get that business license and make sure that they are doing that through their home-based business.
Well, and how do they go about finding out the necessary licensing, permitting, and registration that's required?
Well, they can always call their local chamber of commerce, but they can also call the town of Bluffton, go on their website, as well as the county, and a lot of these forms are there available to them through the internet.
Okay. Now, some home-based businesses may not realize that they're required to register with the state, the town, or the county to legitimize their business. Will they get in trouble if they don't do this?
It's really kind of a tax issue. They want to keep up with what the revenue is coming into the area, so that's their way of, taxing what your gross income is. That's how they base your licensing fee, but it's pretty nominal. They don't really get in trouble for it, I don't think, but one of the things that is pertinent to a lot of businesses to know is that you do need a physical address to register with the state, and there are registered agents around town and also through the internet to do this and find somebody to be a registered agent if you're just doing a P.O. box.
Okay, well, and I assume it's also very helpful to have that physical address on your business card because that lends you credibility.
Yes, it does. I mean, people want to see that you're here to stay, and a lot of times, when they see a P.O. box on your business card, it may make them a little leery. So it is good to have that physical address on there so they know who they're dealing with and that you're in the area and you're not kind of fly by night, so to speak.
All right. Well, this is all great information for anyone contemplating launching a home business. Shellie, thanks so much.
Thank you.
When we return, we'll meet the two men vying to take the position Weston Newton recently vacated in Beaufort County Seat District 9.
Tara's Men's Den, located beside Tara's Salon at the Moss Creek Village, is a full-service salon for men only. Open Monday through Saturday from 9:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. We offer haircuts, color, highlights, waxing, and treatments for hair loss. No appointment necessary, so come enjoy a relaxing atmosphere for men only, and don't forget senior discounts every Wednesday. Call or visit us today. Our number is 843-837-5555.
Welcome back to the Bluffton News. Joining us now is Tabor Vaux, and he is our first candidate that we're going to be talking to today. Now, Tabor, you're a little bit on the younger side when we think of a political candidate. So at 29 years old, do you think your age is going to help or hurt you in this election?
I think that people will use it against me, but I really think that it's a positive thing. Other people have demonstrated, including Weston Newton, that you can join the county council at age 29 or 30 and still make a positive change and do great things. To take it a step further, Tim Scott did the same thing in Charleston. I know that's a little bit of an extreme example, but I think it can be a positive thing, and it leaves the opportunity to bridge the next generation and to start getting them involved.
Now, have you ever run for a political office before?
I have not run for a political office, which is why I thought it was important to talk with the last three people that held this seat, along with different members from town council, county council, and also the state delegation from Southern Beaufort County. And we're humbled to have their support, but I've gotten the opportunity to hear how each of them feel like they've made great successes, but then how each of them feel like they fell short of the mark. So I'm able to look at them for guidance and have a better idea of what to expect in the future.
That's a great way to have a better understanding of the office. Now tell us a little bit about your family.
Well, my wife Erin was born and raised in Beaufort, and now she is an assistant solicitor prosecutor over in Jasper County. She manages the Jasper County office for the solicitor Duffy Stone. And her family, her parents live in Beaufort, and they've been a part of the Beaufort County school system for most of her life. I have 3 sisters that all live in the county, and they're all married, 2 of which have children. And all of us, Erin and my sisters and I, we all went to Beaufort County Public Schools. I think Erin's family's been in the county for about 50 years, and my family's been here for a little over 70. So we have a lot invested in the county. We don't plan to go anywhere. We want to see the county do well, and we want to make sure that we leave it in a great shape for the next generation.
Well, it sounds like you, because of that long history here, have a great understanding of the needs of the Low Country. Now, where did you start your career?
Well, after I got out of the Citadel and Charleston Law School, I came back and started my career at the solicitor's office right here in Bluffton. And we worked in, the office is in Bluffton, but we covered Beaufort County. We also prosecuted a lot in Jasper County. And then I was promoted up to run Hampton and Allendale counties for the solicitor's office, which was a great experience because in Beaufort County I was one of 12 prosecutors. But when I went up to Hampton and Allendale, I was essentially one of 1 for most of the time that I was up there. And it took a lot of coordination and communication to prosecute the criminal cases for 14 different law enforcement agencies and to run the different courts up there.
All right. Now, why are you running for this position, Tabor?
Ever since I came back from school, I always wanted to get involved and be a part of the community. When I first came back, I joined the Bluffton Rotary Club, and then I was the solicitor's representative on the Safe Schools Board, which was put on by the former principal of Bluffton High School. And then I always wanted to take a step further and get involved. And when Weston announced that he was running for the State House, I saw it as a great opportunity to get involved and to get the next generation to step up and start giving back to the community a little bit.
Well, if you're elected, I'm sure Weston would tell you that you will definitely be involved. Thank you so much for being here today, Tabor.
Thank you.
I'm now pleased to welcome Mark Lawson, who is the second candidate speaking out today. Mark, welcome.
Thank you.
First off, why don't you give us an idea of why people should vote for you?
I've been a county resident for 22 years, and through my experience of being a developer, working with the zoning, also being a builder, having to work with the county building department, and also past 12 years being part of the Bluffton Youth Sports, which represents 700 kids, 500 families. I had to work with Parks and Leisure as well as working with Public Works. So I've got experience in that respect just by my experience here in the county. I've also got 3 kids who have been in the public school system for 20 years. My youngest is in 7th grade, so I still have 5 more years of the public school system.
Good. So it sounds like you really do have experience and knowledge of life here in the Low Country. Now, who specifically do you represent?
I represent those same families I mentioned, which are actually families in the area that have kids in most of your normal neighborhoods, everywhere from Westbury Park, Heritage Lakes, Fern Lakes. But again, just the normal people in the area. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a career campaign person. This is not a huge political career. I've been asked to run and put my name in the hat to be part of what's happening and to make a difference.
Good. Now give us an idea of what sets you apart from your opponent.
What sets me apart is my hands-on volunteering and be part of the community. Being here as long as I have, I've seen every facet of the community. Obviously, you know, I'm 18 years older, Tabor being 29, so I think there's a little bit of wisdom that comes with that by hard knocks of being a successful business owner for the past 20 years and employing people. We've got a business called Last Minute Tea Times, which we've done for 20 years, besides the real estate and development background.
All right. When you take a look at your opponent's list of important issues, I would say that the May River is pretty much at the top of his list. What's at the top of yours?
Well, I think that the May River actually, as well as safe roads and things like that Tabor supports, I also support. And that's kind of like, being in favor of babies, puppies, and ice cream. So those are things that obviously everyone should support. Other things that I think that are important out there is that we need to continue with transparent governancy. We need to also be able to watch our budget. What's coming up right now with the budget is going to be the biggest thing that happens with the assessments and with the property values going down, and what's going to happen with the millage rate and what we've got to do so we can maintain county services. Because if there's not money there to maintain what we have right now, what are we going to do? And that's going to be something that's going to come up that's going to be very important.
Okay. Now, this is always one of those questions that has to be asked. In terms of overall experience, why do you feel that you're more qualified than your opponent?
I feel that I'm more qualified because I have been here, have lived here. I mean, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I've also been an employer, I've been a volunteer in both church, community, schools. So when it comes to being out in the public, I mean, if anyone from Bluffton that has been out to any of the areas, activities, they've seen myself and my wife, they've seen our family that has been out there and been out there to help people and to be an active role model for everyone in the community.
Gotcha. Okay. And finally, the most important issue that you think the county council is going to face in the future?
Well, it goes back to that millage rate and also the tax assessment. I mean, everyone knows values have gone down. So if we stay at the same millage rate, I think we're at a 13% decrease in assessment, which means we're going to be at a 13% decrease in taxes coming in. So that is going to be the most important thing that comes, is finding a way so we can maintain services, so no services are cut, but still be able to collect money and for this county to survive. That we've seen so many other communities throughout the country that have struggled with this. That's going to be our biggest challenge coming up here very soon.
All right. Well, best of luck with the election, and thank you so much for taking time out of your day, Mark.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Our Bluffton News Pet of the Week is Tucker. Now, Tucker may not be flashy or possess a bag full of silly canine tricks, but he's endowed with countless attributes which simply cannot be taught. With his gentle presence and sensitive nature, Tucker would make a wonderful addition to any family. He's just 11 months old, so he has much to learn and much more to look forward to. Thanks for joining me for this special edition of the Bluffton News. We are, after all, the news program that is all Bluffton all the time. I'm Anneliza Itkor for the Bluffton News. We'll see you next time.